Was Jesus white? That's the question we're going to talk about on this Sermon on the Run. Let's go. Hey there, I'm Jim. I'm a real-life pastor and an amateur runner. And no, Jesus wasn't white, but why do we always see pictures of him to make him look like he's some European colonizer? Well, there's a reason for that. Let's talk about it. Just to be clear, Jesus does not look like this. And he doesn't even look like this, although we do need images like that in our world today. Jesus probably looks something like this. But why is that white Jesus the one that we see everywhere? That's the question we're going to answer. Now, there are two big reasons why we have so many pictures of white Jesus. Number one is because a lot of these pictures of Jesus were painted during the Renaissance in Europe, painted by white people. And so we do what we do best. We paint God in our own image. And the second reason why we still see so many images of white Jesus has to do with European colonization and white supremacy. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Now, I want to be clear and say that a white Jesus is not implicitly bad, especially if we have a black Jesus and a Hispanic Jesus and an Asian Jesus and a Palestinian Jesus. That's kind of the OG Jesus. It's helpful for people to see a Jesus that looks like them. Because if you only have one color of Jesus, specifically a white Jesus, it kind of communicates that that's the color that God loves best. So yeah, we need all the Jesuses because we need God to look like all of us. Otherwise, what kind of God is it? But we only really see a white Jesus through so much of human history for a couple of reasons. Number one, like I said, because that's when all the art was painted, not all the art. That's the art that was distributed by the gatekeepers of culture and society, which turned out to be white Europeans. So they just perpetuated their own image all over the world. That's colonization. And we're still dealing with those ramifications. They brought their worldview, they brought their science, they brought their religion with them. And that meant they brought their picture of white Jesus and said, here, this is what God looks like. He looks like us. Surprise. Oh, and yeah, that's Santa Claus behind me. Speaking of white Jesus, look what I found. White Jesus, he's everywhere. And then very similar, when your religion turns out to be synonymous with white supremacy, it's easy to keep God looking like you. You keep Jesus in your image because it keeps everyone who doesn't look like you one step below the divine. If God is male, then male is God. That's Mary Daly talking about sex and theology. But the same is true for skin tone and race. If God is white, then white is God. Yeah, you see why this is a problem? This is the problem. But really, this image is the one that has seared itself into the eyeballs of countless people. Warner Sallman painted this in 1940. He was about 50 years old, started as a charcoal sketch, later was commissioned for a magazine cover, and it was reproduced more times than any other image of Christ. This is the most produced image of Jesus in the world. No wonder we think that white, long flowing hair is the standard for Jesus. That's the image that we have photocopied and handed out more than anything else. Now, why is this all important? For so many obvious reasons. Race becomes an unconscious experience for far too many people, especially people who look like this. We assume this is the norm and everything else is the exception. And we do the same with religion, with Christianity, with Jesus. Yes, we need images of Jesus in every cultural representation because representation matters. But we can't oversaturate the entire world or make the whole religion synonymous with one picture or depiction or race. If you're watching this video and you're white, you probably grew up not even really thinking about this. But imagine growing up seeing a picture of Jesus who consistently looked different than you. You would always be thinking, I have to be something other than I am to truly be holy and forgiven and divine. What if we could see the holiness and the divine in all of us exactly as we are? That's what we need more of in Christianity, and that's what we need more of in the world in general. So you can keep your white Jesus, but just make sure you put next to it a whole bunch of other pictures of Jesus. Capture the full picture of what it means to be human and what it means to be divine. Happy Sunday. Oh, also I'm recording this on Sunday, April 26th, moments after the world record was broke for the marathon in London. Sub 2 hours by Sebastian Salway. Yeah, that's good motivation for my Sunday long run. See you next week.